Morning, folks. Well, it's another Monday, and the adventure continues. Pulling out of the campground in Carson City and heading for a long drive today up to Boise, Idaho. Gonna be a long day.
In 200 feet, turn right onto North Carson Street.
You'll have to pardon my GPS talking, but
take the next right onto North Carson Street, then make a U-turn at Jimmy John's.
And just wanted to let y'all know a few things, share a few things with you. I had a wonderful evening yesterday evening. I took a nice dinner cruise out on Lake Tahoe. I had a great dinner, and it was a sunset cruise, so I was able to sit and watch the sunset. Recorded a bunch of it for you, but unfortunately I ran out of data on my hotspot, so I couldn't get it uploaded last night. So I'm in a pickle now. Both phones are out of hotspot time, and the campground had very poor internet, so it kept coming in and out. So I'll get it uploaded one day, promise.
Make a U-turn at Jimmy John's.
And
continue on North Carson Street for 1.5 miles.
I'm gonna talk a little bit this morning, since I titled the channel Truck Camping, and I realized I hadn't talked a lot about truck camping. So I am going to try to share a few thoughts about the truck camping thing versus RVing and the motorhome. As some of you know, and some that watched the first video know, Beverly and I traveled by travel trailer and RV for many years, and then I decided to get this thing to try camping. Well, space-wise, I'm fine. I've got no problem. I don't feel over cramped in it. One of the things I've realized, though, is unless I take the camper off the truck, I have to stow everything. That means that you got to put the coffee pot away, you got to put the toaster away, you got to put all your stuff away. Every time you're going to move, you got to disconnect your power and your water, and so that's a little bit challenging for me. If I want to run out to the grocery store for a few minutes, well, I got to disconnect everything and stow everything away. And of course, I use the truck to get around and sightsee. When I was traveling with the RV, it was no problem because you just left everything set and had the car unhooked and ran around in the car. So that's the downside. The upside to that situation is wherever you are, you've got everything you own. so you didn't say, oh gee, we left this back at the RV, because you got it with you. So there's pluses and minuses to that situation. I'll talk a little bit more specific about this Lance camper. You know, I thought Lance was a top name brand. I guess I didn't do a lot of research, but I have kind of been disappointed with Lance, and I hope somebody from Lance looks at this thing and realizes that they need to better kind of shape up a little bit. Since I've had the camper, what now, a month and a half, so far I have lost 2 cell phone extender antennas. They blow off while you're driving down the road. I know I haven't hit anything with them, and they just blow off. They're not secured up there. I've also had the crossbars on the luggage carrier up there to they don't tighten down very well. Or they didn't tighten them down very well, I'll put it that way. So the crossbar slid out. And fortunately, it didn't slide all the way off the top. But one, when it came out, it dropped down on my skylight. And fortunately, it didn't break it, but I don't know how far I drove with it land on the skylight. So when I was camped back at Mini Oaks Farms, I had to borrow their ladder to get up there to secure that thing. And it's very sloppy, very, very sloppy way of securing it. They got a half moon bottom clip that clips onto a square bar. So the impingement on the bar is only a very, very small area. So that was pretty disappointing. The outlet cover in the kitchen area, first time I pulled the plug loose, I pulled the cover off with it. Either they made the hole too big or the clips are broke or something. I've got to investigate that and see what's going on, but it didn't hold up very well at all. I have to hold on to the cover every time I unplug or unplug a device, not plug in a device, but unplug a device. Little things like that are pretty troubling and pretty annoying. I had looked at buying an Arctic Fox before. I don't know, they may have had the same kind of problem. Maybe it's just shoddy workmanship. I don't know. Californians are putting this thing together, so that may have something to do with it. But anyway, I'm not overly pleased with what I've got and what I paid for it. The other thing is their customer service. When I called customer service to inquire about rigging up some kind of an inverter where I could have some basic power at all times, there was no response. There's no number to call, or I tried to call them, I shouldn't put it. There's no number to call. So I went online and I filled out their little form that says, look, I've got this issue and I'd like to get some advice on it, because I know they have that capability. And their response was simply, we have sent your information to a dealer near you and they'll be in touch with you. I've yet to hear anything from anybody. So again, customer service is pretty poor. I thought about taking the time to stop through Lancaster, California, while I was down in San Luis Obispo, and just talk to them. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to. I did get a questionnaire from them 2 or 3 days ago, supposedly welcoming me to their family and asking me to fill out a survey. I certainly intend to do that. But anyway, so the truck camping thing versus the RV, for little jaunts like last night, I had to unhook everything to go over to Lake Tahoe to catch the cruise, find a place to park it, and if I had been in the RV, I could have just hooked up just jumped in the car and went over there. And like I say, you gotta stow everything before you move. Excuse me. That night on the lake last night must have some frog in my throat. The upside to this setup is fuel mileage. With the RV motorhome, I should say, I got in the neighborhood of 6-7 miles a gallon. Here I'm getting in the neighborhood of 11 miles a gallon. A big difference. Of course, I'm buying diesel versus gas, but it's still a big difference. So anyway, want to share a few thoughts about truck camping. School's still out as far as I'm concerned on whether it's a better plan or not. But we'll find out in the long run. So I'm on the road to Edinburgh, Boise, Idaho. Like I said, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be about 6.5 hours. And I'm going into another time zone, so it's add an hour. So it says I'll get there about 3:12. I'm hoping to get there a little earlier than that, but we'll see. I'm gonna push the old beast a little bit today and probably run up there and run the speed limit. Most of it will be interstate, so I'm just gonna go ahead and run the speed limit and not worry about the fuel mileage. So that's about it for today. Talk to y'all in Boise.